super close to college football.
Very close is an understatement.
Very
I think
close.
we're getting 2 weeks until the appetizers on
Until
August the 24th.
Yes, and then the first week we have some super games coming
On August the 31st.
Yeah, but before we jump in, thanks again for SevereTV.com for setting us up here in the brand new studios. I know you can't see it, but the brand new, nice studios here.
It's a lot of room.
A lot of room in here. So thanks.
Put the R in room.
Put the R in room. Thanks again for them for setting us up. Thanks again for Autographs Plus for setting us up for sponsoring us here too. But before we jump into any football, we do want to do our.
It's a very brief bulletin this week.
We'll just do a little breaking news here. What do you got here starting?
Have you ever thought of the NCAA as a dinosaur before?
Yes, they are very ancient. They should have went out like a million years ago. They should have died like 1.8 million, something like that.
Well,
yeah.
they did hit Harbaugh with a 4-year ban from college football.
I heard that yesterday.
What do
Now-
you think about that?
It's for stuff that happened when
Before nil?
it was 2020, right? Ain't that
That was
wasn't
1 year
wasn't
before
it right
it.
around the COVID season? I mean, right before the COVID season, he did some impermissible recruiting, contact with kids during.
Which you could probably do now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why would you
But-
punish somebody after they leave?
So it happened 4 years ago. First of all, it took them 4 years
To get this done.
to get it done, and also they did it how many months after he had already left college football? He's
Already been in the Chargers for 4 or 5 months.
So he's a Chargers head coach, and what did they do? They gave him a show of cause, which means that he's basically banned from coaching in college football
until 2028.
So he's banned for 4 years from coaching in college football, and he's got a 4-year contract with the Chargers.
Something tells me, something smells. That's ridiculous.
What?
The dinosaur, they've outdone themselves. I'm not saying they have outdone
They
themselves.
really know how to punish somebody.
4 years after they do something, and it's not even relevant anymore.
No. This sort of reminds me of the Pete Carroll USC debacle.
After he leaves USC, they punish him for no reason outside of just
They hammer
past.
USC. They hammer USC. Take away Reggie Bush's Heisman and blah,
Until
blah, blah,
just
blah, blah,
recently.
blah, 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 blah. Yeah, did all of that. Now, Pete Carroll went on to Seattle and got zero. It affected him none. And this is going to affect Harbaugh.
zero.
Zero.
He's got his championship. You didn't take his championship away, so
He's
what's
got,
the point?
He's got his championship. He's got his money. He's NFL. He's back in the NFL. But now Kentucky has to lose
10 wins from one season because impermissible recruiting contact. They're very, I can't find the word, persnickety, if I can tell you. They're very snitchy about that kind of recruiting stuff. I feel like if you do one little thing that they don't like,
it's a little bit. I don't know. I think that they're losing. No, they lost all of their power when it comes to the NEAL program. When it comes to paying kids and stuff like that, they lost all of that. So they're going to try every other way they can now
to get around that.
to hammer you. They'll hammer you for talking to a kid on Sunday at 2:05 when you're supposed to wait till 2:30. I don't know. The NCAA needs to just fade away, go away. What you got for us next?
Some weird news. The music artist Pitbull has bought the name rights to the Florida International Football Stadium name.
So it's Pitbull Stadium now. Huh? That actually sounds okay, I guess. But probably the majority of the people who don't know who Pitbull is just going to think they named it after a dog. I mean, I like Pitbull. I mean, he's not a bad artist, but not everybody knows who Pitbull the singer is. So,
That's a nice little development that
maybe
Florida International's
they'll
got
put up
going.
his face logo on the stadium too. So yeah. All right.
Speaking of, let's get to
What do you-
something real, some
what-
futility. We're going into something that's really bad.
Oh, what do you got?
The Chicago White Sox continued to be the baseball equivalent of sweaty gym socks.
How many games in a row did they end up losing?
Count with me, kids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
What?
19, 20, 21 straight losses.
21 straight losses
In baseball.
That had to be. Was that the record?
That's tied for the second worst losing streak in AL history.
Oh mercy. Oh, I actually see, and they finally won against the
Athletics.
A's, which are
They're not good.
they're not good at all either. But 21 straight losses, tied for the second worst streak in the history of the American League.
I think they've got a 27-88 or 28, and they're bad.
That's bad.
That's not even smelly gym socks. That's moldy cheese.
That's historically bad. That is really, really, really bad.
I'd hate to be. How do you sell those tickets to this year's team?
You don't.
Do you just sell them for pennies on the dollar?
I guarantee you that they're $5 a piece.
I don't think it's even that.
It may not be
Pay
that
them.
way.
Pay $1 for that team. That's bad.
Yeah, is it? What does it say? That's what you put in the stockings of the kids who are bad for Christmas.
You put coal in their stocking.
White Sox tickets. Oh, what you got? What you got for us next?
Tennessee's secondary took a blow.
I did see that. Yeah, prayers out for
Jordan Thomas
For Jordan Thomas, he was
slated to be a
thought
starting
to be
safety,
a starting nickel safety. Yeah, so.
but he injured his knee and his season's over.
Now I didn't hear what the type of injury was, but I did hear it
was a
gonna-
knee injury.
It was going to require surgery, so it was going to cost him to be out for the season. Now that does give an opportunity for
Boo Carter to slide right
a
in.
hot freshman. Yeah, Boo Carter came in and he's been getting some good hype, some good talk
But
coming in.
he's going to need some extra coaching. He's a freshman.
He is a
in the
freshman. He's going
secondary.
to see some stuff that he's not used to. Now it's only the nickel package. I think whenever they do the nickel, he was going to be. Jordan was going to be a starting nickel there. So prayer for Jordan and prayer for Boo coming in and
sliding in
as a
preparing
freshman.
to get in a month.
yeah,
Less than a month.
any kind of touches Boo Carter can get right now, I think is good. Boo Carter is a fantastic athlete.
And we have a little retirement send-off to finish off the bulletin.
Who's retiring?
Nick Foles, all those years ago with
old
the Eagles.
The old Eagle.
The Super Bowl 52 MVP when he cranked out an all-time performance.
He doesn't seem like he should be old enough to retire. He's
He
retiring
is
very young.
35.
35 to 40. 35 to 40 is when some of the quarterbacks, except for Tom Brady,
He's
who
planning
played
to-
when he was 50. 35 to 40 is when most retires. What kind of send-offs is he?
He's going to send off. The Eagles have already got a statue of the Philly special in front of their stadium.
Yeah.
He's gonna retire in front of the Eagles in front of the opener, the season.
Oh, that's
opener.
cool. So the season opener, they're going to do a retirement ceremony. That's cool.
And that ends our bulletin for this week.
Oh, cool. The only thing that I want to cover, of course, Tennessee football is starting soon, so go Vols.
And they're wedged right in the top 15,
Yeah.
exactly at 15.
We will just really quickly cover
The top 15 teams in the
top
preseason poll.
15 in the preseason poll. Starting out, who is it? Who would ever guess?
Georgia.
Georgia.
Whoopity-doo.
Yeah,
Wow.
They've won 2 straight.
They've won 2 national titles in a row and then got cut short by Alabama last year, so they're looking to get back there this
Yeah,
year.
they got 46 of the qualifying votes. What is there? 46, 53?
Out of the
54?
64.
Out of the 64, they got.
Georgia has
46
hype
of them.
like usual every year because of the recruiting that Kirby Smart has done, but there's one little niche, that one little barb in the side,
What's that?
off-season shenanigans.
Oh my goodness! They need to do a little bit of maybe
Trying to keep,
clean up.
clean up the.
They need
I've
to clean up the.
I've
program
never
right
seen
now.
so many arrests from a program since Urban Meyer at Florida.
No. We just hope, that they can get it cleaned up a little bit because
I don't want them to end up like Urban Meyer at Florida.
No, you can't let that stuff continue, or it will
It's
grow.
become
It'll
a meme.
Spread.
It's become
actually
a
meme.
trend.
Yeah, but that will spread, and it'll spread throughout the program, and it'll destroy the program if you don't watch
Keep it in
so
check.
Keep it in check. Number 2 is
Ohio State, as they
No, wait.
I was the
You
one who
forgot.
slipped up.
You
This
slipped up that time, man.
you can only say the Ohio State
left
when you
out
mention
the.
the Buckeyes.
You left out the the.
The
Yeah.
Buckeyes. Speaking of hype, they've gotten more hype than usual, which is just incredible. Knowing how much hype they get year after year
Yeah.
after year after
They
year.
got 7 votes to be number 1 above Georgia.
They did get 2-star transfers from the SEC, which shows you where they want to be. Well, I think the Buckeyes will make it because the Big Ten, although they did get better with Oregon coming in.
With Oregon and USC coming in, they did get a little bit better. It'll be a harder road.
Because
to
they
come out
they
of the
do
Big
have
Ten now.
Oregon and Michigan this year.
Yeah, and last year there was only 3 teams that were decent in the entire Big Ten: Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. And that's annually. That's about the only 3 teams that do have any kind of shot of winning anything too big. But now Oregon comes in.
And they're
they're
going to be
really
a team
good.
to look at.
They're going to be a team to look at. Oregon comes in, and USC comes in. They'll be down this year because they lost their quarterback, but they're a better team than what most Big Ten teams are too. So the Big Ten got a little bit stronger.
Thanks to the outside additions, which happened this conference realignment's been really wacky.
Yeah, it's been crazy. And our third team is
Speaking of Oregon,
Oregon.
where we talk about the Ducks. This is a team that I have as a sleeper.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They've got a good coach, they got good recruiting, and they've got a program that over the years I've respected because have you ever really seen whenever Oregon trips up, they usually get back on their feet really quickly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now they are starting a new quarterback this year too, also. Aren't they?
They got a transfer quarterback from Oklahoma who's pretty good.
Yeah.
But the Ducks have, like I said, a lot of talent. I think they're going to get their webbed feet flying around over in the Big Ten whenever they start.
Pretty quickly. And then fourth, we have the new SEC team,
The Texas Longhorns.
Texas. They've got a veteran QB. That's what has them up pretty high right now. They got Ewers up there.
But I think their wide receiver core is brand new.
It is brand new. They did get 1 vote for number 1, so someone out there in the
Had
coaches.
Texas as a trendy pick.
That's trendy. Number 5, we got the seasonal. This is the one that I question.
Alabama this year has been a pretty big what if right now.
It's a brand new program.
Brand spanking new, right out of the box, a fresh shoe
The
box.
head coach, probably the best college football coach
Steps
we've ever.
down.
Steps down. So you've got a new head coach. You've got a new
coordinators, some new players. Everything's almost different.
You've got some fantastic players, a fantastic roster
Left over from Saban.
but there's question marks everywhere. Can the new head coach
Get his players to play like how Saban did.
Can he continue? So I question maybe Alabama being ranked that they might be a top 5 team. I'm not saying that they're not that as far as talent
Because
goes.
they have talent.
As far as the unknown, though, I would have probably dropped them down closer to 10 just to let them come in and prove themselves. Number 6, we
Ole
got
Miss.
Ole Miss.
This is another question mark for me because sure they got their quarterback coming back from last year, but a lot of his targets are going to be, like I said, it's got the Alabama No, it's not the Alabama problem. It's got the Texas problem where a lot of them are new.
Are young. You got a lot of young players coming in there, yeah. Number 7, we got Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, another year of hype to finally get into that playoff again for the Irish.
We'll see if they make it in this year. I don't know a whole lot about the Irish. Are they starting
They're starting Duke transfer quarterback Riley Leonard that
That's
came
what I
over
thought.
from Duke.
Again, there's a lot of questions when you get from 5, 6, 7, and even 8. We've got Michigan. A lot of question marks there. You've got a brand new system again.
Brand new coach, brand new coordinator, brand new players.
So-
So it's really
So for me, Alabama, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, and Michigan, all 4
have some question
have some-
marks.
They got some questions. They got to prove.
Now,
what
if
they're
Jim
doing.
Harbaugh, well, they would have been hurt if Jim Harbaugh came back this year, but
Yeah.
even if they didn't punish him for anything, they probably would have been in the same spot.
Yeah. And at number 9, we got
Big Game James.
Big Game James
and
Franklin
Penn State.
and Penn State. Penn State, they're
The football equivalent of the bridesmaid. You know how she sits there and watches the bride and the groom get together?
It's either Michigan or Ohio State every year winning, and they're sitting back going,
holding the flowers.
holding the flowers, just watching the happiness.
That's what James Frank, Big Game James is. Every single.
They're a really good team, not a great team.
And that's going to continue this year.
It probably will, because now they got to go through Oregon and USC.
So it's going to be even worse.
It's going to be even worse, yeah.
Goodness.
We got number 10 is Florida State.
Florida State trying to ride off of last year's success.
Yeah. And again, it's a good program. With them being right around 10, 11, I think that's pretty good. I think somewhere between 10 to 12 is probably pretty good for them. They did good last year, so they're coming in.
The ACC isn't as strong, but Clemson would be, or Miami would be the biggest challenges.
Yeah, they are the highest ranked team in the ACC coming in. Now, number 11, we got Missouri.
This is because of the experienced offense.
It's because of the offensive coordinator.
That's primarily what I think.
Missouri was a dumpster fire until they brought in the new offensive coordinator last year, and now they're all of a sudden a good team.
Well, this adds up, doesn't it? You
Yeah.
get someone else other than Drinkwitz calling the plays.
Yeah.
And you got Kirby Moore calling the
is
plays.
terrible at play calling. You know, they would lose 43-10 with him calling the plays. They bring in a new coordinator last year.
And their offense has new life.
They put the play calling to him, and all of a sudden they're a great team again.
Their quarterback
them being
comes
at
back.
number 11, I don't know that. I've got a little question mark on them, too.
Missouri's
because,
got a new defensive coordinator and some new defensive players.
Yeah, so was it a flash in the pan?
Or will it continue?
That's the question mark I've got from Mizzou. LSU's hitting in at number 12.
Now, this is LSU. They rake in talent every year over in the Bayou over
There's
there.
tons of talent in Louisiana. Tons of talent down there. Of course, they can pull some from
Other
Texas.
states
They can
because
pull some from
LSU's a
Alabama,
brand.
Because there's a brand. I think right around 12 is probably pretty good from them too. If they win, they can move themselves up. If they lose, they'll fall down to 17, 18. It might be closer to where they're at anyways, but number 12 is not a bad start.
Number 13 is the Utah Utes.
Utah Utes, again, I question that one mainly because I don't know too much about the team.
Well, they do have Kyle Whittingham coming in, and he's a good coach.
He is a good coach,
But they're moving to a new conference in the Big 12 where it's pretty crowded over there.
yeah, they jumped into the Big 12, and they got a new system coming in. So, again, Utah, I might have had them closer to 16, 17 or something.
And number 14 is the Clemson Tigers, which is the main team that people are picking to challenge the Noles for supremacy in the ACC.
Clemson's been on a steady
Downward slope.
downward slope, so I don't know. Again,
Mainly because Dabo, for some unknown reason,
hates the transfer portal,
he hates it so much, even though everybody else is using it.
even though it's the lifeline to a lot of teams.
Like, Ole Miss is chock full of those transfer players.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about Ole Miss a little bit. Lane Kiffin's going the John Calipari route.
And just getting transfer after transfer after transfer. Just switching players in and out.
You don't have the chemistry as much. It's okay to supplement with transfers,
And
but
just don't be chock full.
just don't use every player on the team as a transfer. And then rounding out number 15 is our
Tennessee Volunteers.
Tennessee. I think Tennessee's actually ranked a little bit low there. I would have probably put them closer to 10, 11, up that way. But again,
The secondary has some inexperience problems just to get the negative out of the way.
But from what I understand, though, they are, as far as the talent level, as
The
far as
defensive
the
line-
twitch,
The
as far
defensive
as the
line is the
skills,
strength of the team, I think, coming in.
like I said, for what I understand, the whole defense is way more athletic, way faster, way more skilled than what we've had there in a long time. And honestly, our defense last year
And
was actually, I think they ended up being ranked fourth in the SEC. So our defense last year,
no, it's
shut
up to
out.
Tim Banks. It's up to Tim Banks
Yeah.
as the guy who operates the defense to gather these guys and play as a unit.
Tennessee's offense was the one
That struggled
that
a bit.
struggled last year. The defense won some games for them.
Now it's up to Joey Housel. This is This has to be go time for Joey.
This has to be go time, yeah. So
He has
so
to
we'll
open
see.
that playbook for Nico this year, I believe.
We are gonna get a chance to sit in on a practice for Tennessee. We can't do any filming, so but we will give you some reports from practice next week. So that'll be pretty good. Other than that, I think that's about it.
That should be it, yeah.
I think that's about it for this week. Next week we will try to give you probably a Tennessee preview video after we get to sit in on. It's actually a scrimmage. I think we're going to get to sit in on a scrimmage. We get to see it live a little bit, see what all the players look like live. So we'll do a little Tennessee preview video for you next week, and then we'll keep up with our other videos too. So be sure and check us out next week. Thanks again for Severe TV for setting us up here again, and we will see you next week.
Next week.